Welcome, Wandering Keeper here. It's been a quiet week in Lake Wobegon. Gonna be one of those weeks. There's a lot going on in my head right now. A lot more positive lately. A lot more positive. There is that. You have to acknowledge that things have actually been starting to settle, work out. We're on the way. Settled into the new place. Settling into the new place. Back up on my feet. That's being, well, the last 2 days have been like physical therapy. It's just been a thing. After 3 weeks of being off my feet for a bad leg, my age, that's a lot of muscle tone loss. And it's much harder to regain. So, my calves have been expressing overly frank opinions of the management, but this is also my spouse and I, our 35th wedding anniversary day, 24th. We went out yesterday for it because that was when we were able to go out. We went to a flea market that is very heavily Latinx, dominantly Mexican, but we saw a lot of Salvadoran and Honduran flags. With the I got a torta con pollo and a couple of elotes, and the guy who was running the food truck told me they make their own horchata from scratch. They actually cook down the rice. Like, it was just amazing. We picked up a Sri Ganesh banner, go with a couple of things we already have in the house. You know, we will pay tribute to the remover of obstacles, and figure it out as we go along. Being a thing. So, I'm kind of riffing a little bit, but I'm also decompressing. I put out a new scene of Bread Spotting today, the serial fiction that I'm doing on Patreon. I'm working on moving that over to Coffee because Patreon has been getting a bit skeevy, and I'm just getting unhappy with the platform. I'm going to move it over to Coffee and do a subscription where you get all the new releases, and if you come over from Patreon to Coffee as a subscriber, you get access to all the back catalog. If you come in as a new subscriber to the Coffee version, the back scenes will be available for individual purchase. I'm thinking a price point of 99 cents for the download file for each scene, which will get you a plain text version, a formatted PDF, an EPUB, and an MP3 of me reading it out loud. We'll see how that works. I've got a lot of recording to do. I'll be doing some of that in the morning, since I have space to do it. Where I'm not going to be interrupted by gunfire. Wouldn't be a thing. I'm not gonna go into any of that situation tonight. There's stuff happening, but it's still happening, and I don't want to talk about any of it right now. I don't want to go harshing all I've achieved here. This is a melancholy thing here because we are saying farewell to Anbu tonight. This is my 17th stream in this game. From a single start. I started from scratch at the beginning of this run. 17 episodes later, here we are. At this point, I've got everything built to handle a village of over 200 people. I've only got 139 right now. It is going to take a lot of babysitting to get Anbu through enough travels to pick up enough people to get the population back up and reopen the, what was it even called? This thing. The community plaza. I can't even reopen that right now. I don't have enough people. So I have to just... So, and we are on our way into just some shit. I'm not happy about that at all. That's a medium sandstorm. We're letting Anbu sleep it out here because we may need to kick it into overdrive when we get closer to that. Oh, shush about disabling my doctor. Oh, it's just terrible advice. Let's just leave it at that. I got a heat wave here. His name is Paul Revere. This guy says the weather will be severe. It's going to be a bit of rough going for the village. But all I really can do in the game at this point, I've got everything built. I need to repopulate, and it's just a matter of nursing the game through. We will see where we end up as we proceed on. There's going to be some stretches tonight where maybe a few more than usual, maybe longer than usual. Perhaps stop talking over the game and just vibe with Anbu for a little while. I mean, that is what we are all here for. You know, we are all here for Anbu. I have a lot of feelings about this game. At this point, I would have to spend so much time on materials and stuff. Oh, good grief! Got a cut down here that I hadn't noticed. Boo! I'd better have a look at the map. we're crossing into desert. I need to immediately shift this. Okay, this is already a cactus. Interesting. That's at wheat. It'll be okay. This farm is on wheat. This one is on tomato. This one is corn. This one is corn. We're already set. We've been running on desert config this whole bleeding time. Okay, I feel a bit like a maroon. Let us see what's going on here, because this is... Okay, that thing is passing... Oh, damn it. Got buildings collapsed. Alright, let's see what's fallen over. Oh, we start here with a farm. Hear it on priority. Ooh, that's a seawater collector. We'll repair it, but I'm not going to put a priority on it. That's an evaporator. We'll repair it. That's the laboratory. That gets repaired. What else? What is... That's the farm that we had on priority repair. Anything else? What else may have gotten knocked over? Well, that hut's already being repaired. I'm not seeing anything else that has fallen over that we haven't already tagged, so... Stranger, be welcome. Glad to see you here. We are in a desert biome, and we are in the last leg of our travels with Anbu. And so there are going to be probably longer periods of time more frequently in the stream tonight than usual where I quit talking over the game and we just vibe with Anbu. I have got... I got to 200 villagers, which was a heck of a thing, and I got the community plaza built. I just don't have the population at this point to staff it. I have too many other things that are dire for staffing. And I'm at 139 people here, which is just... It's going to take a long time to pick up enough people. Chill, do we have a destination, or are we just calling it complete as we feel fulfilled by this? We are calling it complete. I'm going to hang with Anbu for a little while, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about Mask of the Rose in preparation for next week, and that's going to be the stream. I don't know how long we'll go. It's just, I kind of want to just sort of vibe a little. This is episode 17 with Wandering Village, which just blows my mind that I started this was only my third run with this game, and I started it and it just kept going. This is stream number 48 for me overall, and number 17 with this game, and it's been quite a journey. It's a hell of a stretch, yes it is. It's been a hell of a stretch. The fact that the village survived the population implosion after the mass poisoning. There's nothing I can do about the heat wave. All I can do is ride it out. I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings about this game. I think it's a marvel of design. It's very tightly woven. The base mechanic, this map navigation, and just guiding Anbu through various hazards, is a very simple loop. It requires not a lot of terrain generation. You can only see so far. But it requires some thought, and it presents a constantly changing environment and set of environmental threats and opportunities that have to be dealt with. It's simplistic, and yet it gets complex when you get into it. The village building is really very standard. The artwork is charming. I'll give it that. But mechanically, it's a very familiar village sim. The tech tree is all based around Anbu, but it's a tech tree. We've seen those. They've used some off-the-shelf components and some original art and this just amazing view here, and put together a game whose mechanic is reinforcing an ethical and moral lesson. I have chosen my path so many times over the presence of nomads. This game has very methodically, I think, built empathy and compassion for these virtual people in this imaginary post-apocalyptic world, to where, you know, I'm feeling an actual responsibility to what are essentially counters in a game. That's a hell of a piece of design work. That is really a hell of a piece of design work. After this many episodes and this many hours of playing this game, I mean, I'm at 35.1 hours playtime with this game at this point. Oh, look at all these oases. Hit them. Hit them all. Hit all of the oases. That's a lot of play hours. I have found so very little in this that is objectionable, and so very much that is laudable. When I close out, I'm going to be giving this game a 5-star review and writing them a quite glowing recommendation. They've done, I think, a marvelous piece of work. And the adorableness quotient alone is worth the price of admission here. We just used a hot air balloon to give a kaiju a head scritchy so that it didn't make it a derpy face. 385 game days. Of course we will pick them up. We will always pick them up. Be healthy people join my village. I have not yet seen anything to convince me that either direction has any greater benefit than the other. I have to make a decision very soon. Alright, we'll go southeast because it does not have the hot spot. We can change our mind. Just have to get the decision in quick enough. It is, and like Anbu's obviously very good, like as a visual design, but the whole game's been beautiful. We still love this overworld map. It's highly readable, and the moving tug of war at the edges is real cool. Oh yeah, oh shoot. We have to change direction. There we go. There are nomads. It's such a tight design. It's just a simple ripple algorithm, but it makes a difference as your field of view sort of comes and goes. Oh, you didn't distract. Those nomads popped up right at the edge of the field of vision just as I was reading your comment about the edge ripple. I had said a couple minutes ago that we might have to make a last-minute change of direction. Even at this point where I'm just hanging with Anbu for a little while before closing out, I'm still feeling driven to choose the path where I can pick up the nomads. If you stop and think about it, there aren't that many different things that show up on this map, but there's enough variation biome to biome, things that only show up in some areas, that it keeps the scavenging interesting. There were points earlier in the game run where I had to make my decisions about navigation partly on the basis of what the resources were in the upcoming biomes. Yeah, I've got a ruined settlement there I want to hit. I also, though, have... Oh. Oh, bugger. Those... Whoops. Well, we wouldn't have intercepted them. They're... As Anbu moves way faster than nomads, there's no way they're going to get there before we would have gotten there. These nomads, on the other hand, whoop. Dry it out, Oasis. I'm going to go on and commit the water and go for the risk. You manage to find the source of the river. They fill their bottles with water and their bags with fine sand. So we gain 15 water net and 30 sand. Brilliant. Sometimes it works out. Let us go hit this. Got Sin Party. No, Oasis. We'll get that one. Hitting a bunch of oases the ruined settlement can meet for right now. Limshark, greetings. Good to see you. So glad to see you. We will be just sort of hanging with Anbu for a while. Probably it's getting to be about 9, probably about another 45 minutes, and then I'll have some thoughts to close out Wandering Village, and then I'll want to talk a little bit about Mask of the Rose so that everyone is forewarned as to what we are about to get into. I had thought about doing a bonus Minecraft session to show off what I'd been doing over on the Cobblemon server on Dynasty MC, but they just started a 48-hour event that's going to lead up to a world split. The server is going to have 3 new worlds added to it. The existing spawn will move to its own world as the Nexus of Realities. The existing game world will become what was it? Prime Valley. There we go. We are coming up to a sleepy spot. Anbu is probably sufficiently tired to sack out on Anbu's own. Let Anbu make the decision. Then they're adding a resource world and a combat world, and it's going to be a whole thing. And next Sunday is not going to be a good time to try to show off Dynasty MC. It's only going to be a couple days into the new config. We may still be in shakedown. Oh, what do we got going here? Note of the fresh air. Ooh. We have to make a quick decision here. Arriving at the site, the oasis is unlike anything you've ever seen. The water is black and almost opaque. Still, your scavengers, dying of thirst, can't wait to take a sip. Let's take a sip and bottle some of the water. That sounds very dangerous. Better not drink that. Let's take some of it with us to analyze it. That seems like a good cautious approach. There's something wrong. Let's scout for other resources. Let's not even go near that. I'm going to go with the cautious approach. That's generally the optimal one. We'll see. The substance in the water turned out to be harmless. We gained 62 water. Booyah! Oh no. How did I miss that? It's terrible. Let's get that repaired and then worry about my unemployment rate. That's why I have an unemployment rate. Ooh. Let's get that fixed. Mr. Betsy. Okay, there we go. Put that windmill back into operation, fully staffed. Let's see how we are doing here. We have one unemployed person now. Let us... I'm going to re-enable this. And just see if I can get that many general workers back, because they will double as carriers and builders and whatever else. See about getting some people. Got some people there, working on meeting up with them, and we need to feed Anbu. Brought back 25 bread. Okay, we'll send the party out to the dunes. Hop over to here and go here and click. There's also another reason for winding this down. There are a number of achievements that I am not going to be able to get on this run. They are effectively hard mode achievements where you get the Chivo for making it to day 100 without having any berries at all on Nanbu, or you make it to day 100 on with various things that you forego deliberately in order to make these achievements. And I'm like, I'm not going to do a run on hard mode just to get one Chivo. I'm just not going to do it. There's only really one more achievement I was after, and it's just going to take so long to get the population back up to where I could get that achievement that, yeah, we're going to move on. Meanwhile, those poor nomads are just now reaching that oasis, and we are long since traveled more distance than from here to here, and that was with a nap. So yeah, well, there's just no way we would have been up with those. Sorry, folks, not fated. Go get more sand. I don't have a glass blower available right now, but go get more sand. Glassmakers is shut down right now because of lack of people. We shut down for a little while. I have to get it reopened at some point. You know, that's a thought. Let me go back here. I just reopened this. Bring it down to there. And then I'm going to go Second guessing myself here. To the glass blower. And okay, they're enabled. Radically? Right? No? Disabled? Take that off. There we go. Now they're advertising for people. Okay, I've got a Black Waters again. I'm gonna try the same approach. Roll the dice. Turned out to be flammable, so they brought back biogas. Just because something does not do what you wanted, it does not mean it's useless. 21 biogas is very useful. Water would be nice, but you can't always. You take what you can get, you know. And another one. Group of nomads. Pick them up. Commit. 3 people. And I know that I just advertised for 2 for the glass blower, which now has its 2 people. Up. And we have no unemployment. Sand brought back. Let's see, anything? Let's just go for the mine. Hit all the oases. Oh dear. We're going to have to make a routing decision up ahead, and one of those routes goes into cooler and more humid environment, but with more poison. And more poison, as we have learned, is intensely bad. Have to see about this sandstorm. It could far too easily hit the end of its track, rebound, and drop right on top of us. I may have to make a run for it. Ask Anbu to lie down for a minute. I really don't want to go through another sandstorm. I've done so many of them lately. Oh, buggers. Large poison forest. We will go northeast. Thank you. Oh, Oh no, no large poison forest. Go away with the large poison forest. This is bad. Yes, our water supply is slowly dwindling, but given a choice between running low on water and going through yet another poison-driven population implosion, have yet to lose anybody to starvation because we ran low on water. It got real close a couple times, but knowing you, booger. Oh, boogers, here it comes back. Got an idea here. Dancing under the hot sun. Looking for protection from the sun, your scavengers walk under a cliff formation. There you meet a tribe performing a dance ritual. We can ask them for shelter and offer them water. We are low on water, but we can offer them some. It's a risk. Oh, a dance party, let's join. That's really culturally insensitive. No. You not just poison forest, go away, come again some other day. Oh yeah, it's better not to interfere in the ritual. Let's just look for resources elsewhere. This is a big risk, but why not? This is just what they were praying for. In return, they offer you some food. We just traded 40 water for 47 corn. This is actually not a bad deal. That gets a bunch of corn into... Wow, yeah. We got a bunch of corn in. Okay, we are about to have to make a decision here. Watching this thunderstorm with great trepidation. And debating whether I run for it or stall. And I'm going to go for the stall. I'm going to tell Anbu to lie down. We are in an area that has no toxicity level, so we should be cool here. Now let's see what happens here. Anbu may just be settled for a bit, or Anbu's only at 39% sleepiness, probably not gonna nap. We just need Anbu to chill for a second here, while that trucks on through the rectangle. We have a green Anbu. Walk. Saw the last, right over here at the edge of the screen, we saw the last of the sandstorm going by. We now have a bit of time here. We'll see if we can proceed on through. Moving. Now we just have to watch this sandstorm, and if it starts coming back and we're still in the rectangle, I'm going to tell Anbu to run for a short time. Oh, and look, there's a spore cloud that we're also not wanting to walk. There's a resty place up here. Let us just keep an eye on this. We are in the rectangle. You're in the area of effect if that sandstorm comes back this way. It's taking us an awful long time to get this rectangle, and that sandstorm moves fast. We're not even halfway through, and it's already bounced. Crud, crud, crud. Run! Okay. You can shift it back down. We have dodged the sandstorm. Alright, water is getting critical. I really don't want to go that direction. I really, really don't want to go that direction, but we're going to run... I've gotten a little bit justifiably trepidatious about poison forests. Going through one of those killed half my population. Well, it was on top of a couple of other poisonings, but still. Poison, the fact that we track Anbu's poison level tells you that poison is the big problem in this world. Because it's also made clear at the outset that that's part of the apocalypse, that it poisoned so much of the world, let loose these horrible fungus clouds and stuff. Yes, we've worn Anbu out a bit. Anbu may nap a bit before we get to the snoozy spot. If Anbu naps before then, we'll let Anbu get down to like 60% and then fire off the wake-up call. We've done this before. We should feed Anbu. Oh yeah, our scavenging party came back with 43 water. It's useful. Stone. We have... Oh hey, we've got nomads up there. Good. Makes me feel better about going this direction. Okay, I'm going to reopen the carpenter. Then reopen the stone cutter. Then reopen the iron furnace so that they will hopefully recruit in that order. Okay, that gets us plenty of recruiting to absorb whatever nomads we're about to encounter. Wonder if we will run into ocean soon, or if we're just going to see a few distant patches. It's going to be a little while before we get to the next intersection, next waypoint. Something that I have just sort of accepted and not even really thought about until now is that over and over again I'm being presented with essentially the same two choices. Either I go northeast or southeast. I can't go back, and I can't do anything with west. West just isn't a thing. The game only has to present two choices, two options at each intersection. That's going to hold down processing. Allow you to do more with less. Anbu is about to crash on us. 80%. I don't know if Anbu's going to make it to the snoozy spot or not. It's visible. If Anbu falls over right before the snoozy spot, that's going to be such a thing. Come on, Anbu. You can make it. Just a few more steps. Now, of course, there's always yet another sandstorm. And only the two little patches of water. No water for us to get into yet. Thunderstorm. Yay! Not my favorite thing. Certainly a less annoying thing than a poison forest, but it still consumes resources. Because, the collapsed buildings have to be put back up, and that takes materials to do the repairs. We're gonna have to deal with that thunderstorm, possibly. See. We'll see. He came back with salt. That's interesting. We've got rather a lot of it. We're not growing rock trumpets. We haven't. Need to. Well, we're beginning to see this direction goes to ocean, that direction goes who knows where. We'll wait and see. Meantime, we are proceeding along. Really don't need more salt. Man walks into a small general store in a little out of the way town. And there are 47 different kinds of salt on the shelf. There's table salt and gourmet table salt, and rock salt for making ice cream, and rock salt for throwing on your driveway, and all this different kinds of salt. He goes up to the guy at the counter and says, "Mister, you must sell an awful lot of salt." And the guy says, "Well, no, not really, but the traveling salesman who sells me salt, boy, can he sell salt." Right now, I'm going to say we're going southeast. Don't know if we're actually going to get there. We'll see. Give it a little time. Okay, founding a settlement. Wandering across the dry desert plains, your scavengers encounter scouts from another tribe. They want to start a new settlement and ask you to help them build a fountain as there's no fresh water nearby. This is a serious thing. We could, if we had any, we could offer them some of our own water, but I think the better option is give them the stone slab. We have vast amounts of stone slab in storage. We'll give them what they need, but we'll also invite them to join us on Anbu. What you're doing is great. We've already got a thing going. It might be less effort to just join us. Full of gratitude, some of them gladly join you after having built the fountain. We got 40 water out of it. 8 people joined the village. That's a heck of a deal for 20 stone slab. Now, what have I got that I haven't scavenged? Good gosh. Here's Dune. Here we go. Okay, we have no unemployed. We have, I think, soaked that entire brew that we just took on board. Various things that we had opened. General workers post. This is a general workers post that I'm going to add to, that I'm going to go on and bump up to full. Because, again, they will double as carriers and whatever is needed. All right, we are at 156 people. We've actually had really good luck this session in regaining population. Had one really amazing stroke of luck that got us 8 people in one shot. But we have reached the end of our time with Anbu. Stick around. I'm not closing the stream yet. We got a few minutes here. I want to do a bit of wrap up on Wandering Village. And then I need to talk about Mask of the Rose, which we will be going to next week. There's some thoughts I need to share on that. But for now, after 395 game days, no clue how far we've traveled. Oh, look at all this mess. Oh, what a grim, yeah. Switch over to northeast, but just because there's less storms. Crap. But that's where we're going to leave. We are going back to the main menu and close out of Wandering Village. This has been quite an experience. Summing it up as a farming sim in which you build a symbiotic relationship with a kaiju has been a useful shorthand. It's gotten a few people interested in the game, but there's so much more going on here than this. The folks at Stray Fawn have done a tremendous amount of work on this. And it has been an experience. Thank you for sharing it. Yeah, it's been a thing. The fact that with some really simple but tightly written mechanics that they have taught a lesson about symbiosis and cooperation and ethics and morality and all sorts of stuff going on here. This game is moving on a lot of levels. And still takes time for some really incredible whimsy, using a hot air balloon to give a kaiju a head scritchy, and then having it make a derpy face and hang its tongue out. It's been such a thing. Now, next week, I will be starting Mask of the Rose. That is a dating sim set in the Fallen London universe from Fail Better Games, so some content warning. Mask of the Rose is going to be twisty. It is going to be, at times, highly suggestive and possibly a bit kinky. There may be murders. There may be murder victims coming back to ask some rather pointed questions, as in the world of Fallen London, death is sometimes not so much an end as an inconvenience. And when you inconvenience someone who has the resources to come back from the dead, well, it never ends well. I played the original Fallen London browser game intensely. I had a love Fallen London, love cosmic horror that doesn't use the Lovecraft mythos. Oh yes. Although there is that lamp shading with the squid people, who actually are fairly nice folks. Just, you know, they're good to trade with. They're just associating with them is a bit scandalous in an environment that is lampshadedly a little bit racist. They are derisive about that. Is appropriate. Fallen London, yeah, I was a paying member. I had a paid subscription to that game for nearly 2 years, so that I got the extra candles. Deeply invested in it. I played through every plot line they had and finally took up the quest for the name. Now, I will not discuss that. Fail Better Games has asked that people who play through that particular storyline not talk about it, and I am respecting that. Beyond that, it wouldn't make any sense if I told you about it, unless you have the context. The revelations of that storyline just won't, some of them won't even make sense. But I have gone on to play Sunless Skies, and I have played Sunless Sea, and Sunless Sea, my very first game, my ship captain was cannibalized by his crew at dock because he ran out of money to buy rations. Yeah, the game is like that. The game is like that. Mask of the Mask of the Rose is the February season in Fallen London, in which affairs of the heart are pursued and resolved. And sometimes this ends with a wedding, and sometimes it ends with a body in a canal. So, be prepared. I am going into this game. I wish I could say I was going into it cold, but I am far too familiar with the world of Fallen London for that to happen. I'm just avoiding anything that would give me hints to storyline and so forth. Now, Mask of the Rose is a finite storyline. I will be playing through one run through. However long that takes. And then I'll be moving on to Roots of Pacha, and we'll talk more about that later. Focused on Mask of the Rose right now, which is where we're going next week. So be prepared, it will be weird. There'll be some adult content, but then, you know, there kind of is already. I have disclaimers on this stream because, you know, things get inappropriate for children sometimes. Oh, it has been a journey. We will say farewell to Anbu. I would like to remind folks that, as it says on my game screen, that trans rights are human rights, and Black Lives Matter, and that Indigenous lives matter, and that land back is not a metaphor. If we don't get our act together and learn to be symbiotic and learn the value of each individual life, the way this game has really put forth a lot of effort to get across, well, we're not going to make it either. You know? That would be kind of a shame. Although hopefully we'll leave enough of the world for the meerkats to maybe have a chance. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, well, we are closing out. I'd like to need to thank our sponsors, Bertha's Kitty Boutique, for people who care about cats, and the Chatterbox Cafe, that dim little place down by the tracks on Main Street. Ralph's Pretty Good Grocery. If you can't find it at Ralph's, you can probably do without it. And I'd like to give a special shout out to our newest sponsor, the Bebop a Rebop Bakery, makers of the finest rhubarb pie available on the shelf at groceries near you. Bebop a Rebop a Rhubarb Pie, ask for it by name. And of course, our founding sponsor, the Powder Milk Biscuit Works. Powder Milk Biscuits made with whole durum wheat grown by Norwegian bachelor farmers, gives shy people the strength to get up and do what must be done. Has your family tried them? Heavens, they're tasty. In the brown paper bag with the dark stains that are the signs of freshness. It astonishes me that I can do that whole thing from memory. But then, you know, it's this way things work. I'm riffing for time. It is, I need to close out. I don't want to go, I don't want to leave Anbu, but it is time that we close this out. Safe journey, space fans, wherever you